Alright, so I just want to do like a quick makeup tutorial since people ask me all the time how I do my makeup and stuff, and just generally, people that want to know what is makeup, how do I use makeup, what makeup should I buy, all that stuff. I just wanted to do like a quick kind of everything guide. I'm going to show all the stuff, and then I will put a link containing where to get all the stuff. The only thing that's not going to be on the list is you're going to need a mirror or something to see yourself in. So the basics of makeup is foundation right here. You are going to need foundation. You're going to want foundation that matches your skin color. This specific brand, I will put this one, but each one comes in a specific color. For my skin, I use natural ivory, but pretty much this brand has a ton of different numbers related to colors. These are super cheap. The best part about this stuff is it works and it is super cheap. Um, so yeah, foundation. Just this alone can help you look way better. And then there's an aside I want to make. They also have powdered foundation. I'll open it up so you can kind of see. This is like typically maybe what you've seen in like movies or something. It's kind of like the powder with a sponge. I don't recommend just this alone, unless you have really, really nice skin already. And if you are doing femboy makeup and stuff like that, typically it's just not going to be good enough coverage. So you're going to want to stick with the liquid stuff. So I'll put the links to these. Next up, I also just want to point out a good shaver is necessary. You want to shave, obviously. Typically, I like to, like, you can still see a little bit of kind of like this, like, after shadow, like, darkness. I don't think you're really ever going to get, like, a good enough shave that that's not going to be there most of the time. But your skin should be smooth enough that even if you go against the grain, you're not really feeling bristly. And I just recommend a simple electric razor for that. The only thing you want to, it doesn't have to be this specific brand. The main thing you want to look for is it's got this foil part here. This is for getting really close to your skin, so getting it all smooth. But you're also going to want these little, they're kind of like cutters, if you will, on each side, and these get your hair when it's longer. So yeah, you'll probably want a random cloth, a piece of cloth is good to have, just for wiping makeup off or wiping your hands off. The next like crucial thing to get, and I actually have a couple of them here, but you only need one, and these are also very cheap, is these NYX professional makeup pens, eyeliner pens. I know it's kind of blurry, but yes, they basically, I'll just also open one. They're just like markers. If you've ever used a marker, a fine tip marker, that is basically what they are. Yeah, I'll go into more detail when we get to those. But the last thing I really use for my makeup is eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, I like going with this palette. It's a bit mixed. I don't have a brand new palette to show off, but basically we got like some pinks and reds, oranges, blues, greens. As you can see, mostly I stick to just using the pinks and stuff and mix them around. But you can see I've also used a bit of the. It looks kind of yellow on cam, but it's orange, and I'll show that off in a second. But I recommend this palette. Like, this is basically what I use to color underneath your eyes or over your eyes, and also what I do for blush. So yeah, uh, other thing you'll need, mostly just for this, for foundation you won't need brushes. I just use my fingers for the most part. But to apply the powdery blush, you're gonna need a brush of some kind. I bought these for $1 at the dollar store. I'm going to post some cheap brushes. They don't need to be anything special. I'll just find some, and I'll post Amazon links to everything because I know people just kind of want to buy. It's a lot more comfy to just buy something online and have it be shipped to you, especially if you're trying out something new like makeup. The last thing we'll need is, it's kind of hard to see, but this is baby oil. Crushed babies. But for real, this is for removing makeup. Rather than getting makeup remover that is a bit more expensive, you can just get like a giant bottle of this stuff, I think for like $4, $5 or something. This stuff will just take all the makeup off your face, easy peasy. All you do is just rub a bit of it onto your fingers, smear it all up, put some water on a cloth, and wipe it up. You're gonna want this. You're gonna want this, especially when you are starting out with makeup. If you fuck up the eyeliner or stuff, it is not gonna come off just with water. It's gonna smear horribly. You're gonna need baby oil to get it off. Um, yeah, and also for taking it off your face when you go to bed if you like. Sometimes I just fall asleep and it all smears all over my pillow. The first step, before we get to the foundation, this is a very minor trick. You do not have to do this. I honestly don't even know how much of a difference this really makes. But going back to me using the orange, if you know colors, spectrums at all a little bit, orange and blue are kind of the opposites. And aftershadow, there's not really much you could see, but aftershadow is a very kind of like a bluish hinge, if you will. So you can put a little bit of orange, kind of just on those aftershadow spots to help a little bit. Honestly, you could skip this step. It's just I have the orange there. I don't really use orange for much, so I'll give myself a little Cheeto mustache here. And don't worry, once we put the foundation on, it's gonna look fine. But yeah, that kind of just helps hide the aftershadow look a little bit. Onto the actual foundation itself. The number one trick or tip I have with this is do not use a lot. All right, here I'm gonna try and get close to the cam so you could see how much I am going to put on my fingers. We're gonna start with like that. It's like one droplet almost. Okay. Start small. I'm doing this in the webcam, so it's a little weird for me, but hopefully. And we're just gonna spread it out a bit. You're gonna need more than that one droplet, but just do it one droplet at a time. You can see once again, it's on my middle finger there. I'm only doing like what you would assume like a water droplet would look like. So yeah, we're just gonna come in and spread that all over the place. If you do a whole bunch all at once, it's gonna look terrible. Trust me. You just want to do a little bit by bit. And I just kind of go around my face on the like cheeks and then the mustache area. Down here, you don't need a brush or anything. Like so, I just use my fingers. And, I'm gonna move my glasses so I can get in a little bit closer. If you're going out on like a date or something too, you can do all your face. For me, I typically just don't do my forehead that much, and I'm not going to focus too much on around my eyes because we'll be putting other makeup there. But if you just want that very natural look, you probably want to do kind of everywhere with it. So yeah, we're just going to spread that out. Make sure to get the nose. And as you can see, we no longer have that like Cheeto-y mustache, but it also kind of hides that 5 o'clock shadow look a bit more. So, yeah. Also, another trick is make sure, especially if you are going to see people that are shorter than you, make sure you blend your makeup into your neck a little bit. Because if you do it just at your jawline that you're seeing with your eyes, anybody that's below you is going to see like a different color from there. So you might want to blend it a bit into the neck. If you're just taking pictures at home, you don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, I'll just touch it up a bit more. A bit harder for me to see. This will be easier in a mirror for you. But yeah, basically you just want a nice canvas basically to work on. It's kind of what foundation does. And then if you did want to opt for this stuff, the reason I had this stuff, I said it wasn't enough on its own, but what you can do is kind of apply this over top, and it just gives you a smoother finish. So for this one, it's going to come with like a little pad. You just kind of smoosh it in there, and then you could just kind of smooth out those fingerprints and stuff if you want a really nicer look. This is not necessary. You can skip on this if you're just starting out. You don't need the stuff. You can just get the liquid foundation and it'll be kind of enough. But anyways, that is foundation. Moving on to the next step. And for us, that will be the eyeshadow. I do have two brushes, by the way. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get the eyeshadow's color out. You can wash it out, but I have like one for orange and one for the typical blush colors I use. But you know, you could as many colors as you want to use. Sometimes it's better just to have that many more brushes, but you can definitely wash these out. It's just kind of a pain. So we're just gonna take the red, the ones I've used a bunch of, and if you want like a deeper pigment to it, you can actually kind of mix all these. But when you get a fresh one of these, you typically are not going to have to mix them, because the colors are not going to be as faded. The fresher the pigments, typically just the fresher, brighter they are on their own. What we're going to do is kind of go under the eyes here. It's a bit weird for me because I'm working in a mirrored logic here. But yeah, I typically do a bit under the eyes. You can kind of blush it out a bit more with your fingertips. Kind of smear it how you want. If you want that like eye, if you want a lot of focus on your eye, you can do kind of like this area with it as well, kind of above. But yeah, we're gonna do under our eyes red like this. It's gonna make us look like we're crying. We've been crying a whole bunch, but that's fine. It's kind of just serving as a base for the color. Next, if you want a very simple look, you can kind of skip this part. I just do this part. That's how I do mine, where I do this really hard blush kind of style. So I'm just, whenever it's running out, I'm just dipping it more into more powder. Unlike the foundation, you don't really have to worry about going too hard with the blush. You can really only put so much on your brush anyways, so feel free to just try and grab up as much color as you can. And yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but spread it out to kind of our cheekbones there and down a bit. It's not going to look great right now until we add more color and stuff, until we add the eyeliner part, but I'm trying here. Really simple. You just kind of spread it out, create like a little line like that. Do under your eyes. Kind of do like a little X there, like kind of that direction around your nose, to the top of the nose. All right, time for the artist part. The very simple trick for this is we're just going to draw. Oh my god, we're gonna draw like a line from here to here. Basically, just draw a straight line, probably like at a 45-degree angle, like that. And if I can do this in weird camera mirrored, I assure you can do the same. But I might not be able to. So yeah, just draw a simple line like that. We're gonna do the same here. Alright, one sec. Gotta like get my brain working properly. So yeah, just another simple line. Start with some simple lines like that. Next, we're gonna try and color in the eyelid. This might feel a bit weird the first time you do it. I've been doing it for so long I don't even notice, but I'm pretty sure when I first did this, it feels a little weird drawing on your eyelid, so just keep that in mind. But yes, we are just gonna like kind of just color this in. It's not too difficult. You're just gonna, just like the foundation, we're just gonna color it. You could probably get it nicer if, you know, in front of a mirror than what I'm doing right now. I might have to go in the mirror to touch it up afterwards, but I messed up the recording a bit, so we're just gonna do this again from scratch. I've completed one eye here. This is roughly how we want it to look. See, I even missed like a little bit. I didn't fill it in perfectly, but yeah, roughly we're looking for kind of that wing, second wing, and some little extra ones. And yeah, gonna kind of look up to fill in the spots a bit better. Yeah, we're gonna start from this one again. So we just want to start with that line. So we're just gonna like pick a spot and kind of draw like a 45-degree angle line. That's gonna kind of determine everything. You can experiment with the degree of angle of this line, but or how long you want it. But yeah, we're just gonna draw a straight line like that to start off with. Then we're just gonna fill in the eye. Fill in the eye again. It's not very efficient with this when you're doing it in a camera. Yeah, we just want to fill in the eye. See, I actually went a little bit out, but that's not going to matter too much once I add the wing right there anyways, so it's not really a big deal. So yeah, to kind of make the wing, we're just going to start from the line and just create another line kind of straight across into this colored in part. Pretty simple. Just gonna kind of bridge that gap, if you will. And then you can fill in the little bit there. And then to create the underline part like this, all we're going to do is start from our line once again. Just go to our line and, you know, kind of drag it out on the bottom. And I mean, the thing to remember with the eyeliner is you just kind of want them both to be sisters, not twins, in terms of looks. So don't worry too much about them being perfectly identical to each other. It doesn't really matter. As long as they look similar, it'll be good enough. Yes, and then create the second wing. Like I said, we just start vertical, and we just kind of drag it because the brush is a triangle. Once again, this is a little awkward for me to do because I'm not lining things up properly, but when you're doing this in a mirror yourself, it'll be way easier, trust me. You can do this significantly faster and more accurate than me. In fact, this one's kind of, this wing is kind of crappy, but, you know, I will try my best. Probably doesn't help that all my like muscle memory is absolutely fucked when you're working in reverse. But yeah, just make sure to look up so you can get it filled in properly. If we want to create this little like eye drop kind of here, we just hold it vertically and boop, just kind of press it there. Next, we just want to make some of these little like mini wings here. Same thing, just kind of hold it vertically, close your eye. Just like 1 and 3. And it'll kind of create those. You can see this eye is looking absolutely wild compared to the other, but yeah. For these little droplets, all you gotta do is just hold the pen in that angle. So, yeah, just hold the pen in that angle and just kind of like press them on, if you will. This microphone's a bit in my way, but oh my god, it is so difficult to do. Anyways, that's basically how you do it. That's the tips I have to offer. Hopefully your eye liner will end up looking more like this one, and you can experiment a lot with it rather than this one. But when you're first starting out, it's fine if it looks like this. That's why we got the baby oil. You can just, if you fuck it up, if you don't like if you don't like this wing or anything like that, you can just put some baby oil in that cloth, wipe it all with baby oil, put some water on the cloth, wipe it, and it'll just all be gone. Then just reapply your eyeshadow again and start anew. Make sure to dry off your eye with like a dry part of the cloth too, so there's not any oil still kind of sitting on your skin, which is just gonna make it, it will make it rub off. But yeah, that's how you kind of do the eyes. We'll keep the scuffed eye for now. Like I said, as long as they're sisters, not twins, even this looks passable. Passable. So they don't need to be perfectly identical. And then for the next part I like to do, we'll see how well I can do this. I like to add like little designs to my face. So like the next part is we're gonna draw on this blush for kind of like freckles or designs or anything. Another thing you can do if you want is you can either add like a little design here or here in these little spots where you see where the red is. You could add a design there, or you could, if you want, just kind of like draw a line like that to like make your eye. But yeah, you just draw like the straight line down. Looks cute. So yeah, you could do that, or you could do like little designs in the underneath the part. So I'll try and show off how to do some of these designs. I don't know how well I'll be able to do it on cam, but the basic one I like to do is do 3 shapes. So like you're gonna do one shape here. Maybe I put like a dot. One shape there. You're gonna do like one shape higher up, and then one shape there. Basically, is what you're aiming for. I can show this off a bit without looking silly. Draw like that, the start of an A. Draw a cross like that, and then all you have to do to make a star is just kind of fill the A in a little bit, like on the bottom. Fill the top parts of the the line across in a little bit. It's like really easy to draw a star that way, and you can get them a lot smaller. Rather than doing like the big typical star drawing you might have done. That's like way easier. And then another symbol you can do is just kind of like draw a rough diamond and just fill that in. Diamond shapes are really easy. X's look pretty decent. That's kind of a crappy X, but X's are pretty easy. Just draw 2 lines. The diamond looks pretty crap, by the way, but give me a little bit of slack here. Mainly I just want to show off how you can do the star. So I'll do it again. Like you just start with a little A like that, so it looks kind of like a crappy A, and then just kind of fill them in a little bit. And ta-da, it'll be a star that is small and fits on your face. What you're going to want to do is just kind of dot on your face to make freckles like that. So like once you got that 3-star pattern, which I will go do in the mirror and I'll show off, you're just going to add some dots just around it just to flesh it out to kind of look like mini stars. And yeah, I will go fix this so you can see what it will look like properly. Alright, so we're back. I've cleaned it up in the mirror. It's very simple shapes. I just did an X. We're just doing it in that 3-point pattern, like I said, for your big shapes. It's like low, high, low. You can reverse this too. You can do high, low, high, but basically three little eye drawing shapes I feel works really nice. I did all 3 of the different shapes. Got the diamond, the X, the star. You could just pick one. You could try other shapes. You could try hearts. You could draw little crosses, whatever shape, feel free to experiment with it. After you get your 3 shapes, all you're going to do is just like take the eyeliner and you're just gonna add little dots, just little freckles basically all around it to kind of fill in the space of it. And yeah, I typically don't put the freckles on the bridge of the nose. It just kind of looks, I don't know, I just don't like how it looks. So I just do it everywhere else except for that. And yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the basics, the starting point for you. You can experiment a bunch with the eyes. You can experiment with how many wings, how big you make the wings. You could try, like I said, putting shapes here instead of these lines. So like you could add a star there. You could add, instead of these, you could do freckles. You could do another hard line. It's really up for you to experiment and try out stuff. The only last really tip I have is after you put all the eyeliner on, you might want to go back and you can see like some of these dots kind of don't have blush. So I just like to come back with the blush a bit and make sure we get kind of all the speckles in the blush. You can reapply your blush now, especially if you bumped it or anything. Basically, I'm just like touching up the edges. Like I said, all this stuff, all the makeup stuff, the whole shebang, probably comes out to, you know, $37. Maybe that's in the high. I'll put the actual amount. I'll calculate it, and we'll put the real amounts right here. How much everything comes to. And yeah, that's a quick little makeup guide. How I do my makeup. Another important thing too is, of course, doing your hair and everything can make a big difference. There we go. That's the finished look.